Hello! Today we are talking about how to dehydrate sweet potatoes. I am here with my mom, the dehydrating queen.
Not quite.
Actually, we love dehydrating. It's our favorite way of preserving food. That, I would say dehydrating, then freezing, and then if I ever have to can, may the Lord help me. So that's our kind of order that we like to do it the most. We are the authors of the Dining on a Dime cookbook, where you can eat better, spend less. Grab your copy today at livingonadime.com. All right, Mom's showing us how to do sweet potatoes.
Yes, I do sweet potatoes a lot for Tara because when she's not feeling good, you grind them into a powder after they've been dehydrated into a fine powder, and then all you have to do is add boiling water, I think is what you, and then butter and salt and pepper is all she puts on hers, and she can eat it. She has like instant sweet potatoes is what it amounts to. And so that way they're handy for her when she's not feeling very good to do that. You also can make sweet potato chips out of that, out of them and everything. So to start out with, I think I'm going to show them how to peel them first.
Okay.
And then do it. Now, when I do these, I just wash them off lightly to get any big dirt or anything on them. They're going to be boiling in boiling water with their skin on. Everything is going to be killed, so you don't need to do special washing. I put them in with just regular water, and I boil them until a knife going in them very easily, it just slides in right on through. These work really good.
You might have your hand out of the way when you're doing it at home.
You mean I shouldn't be going like that? No, usually you go down like this. But these work really good in an Instapot. This is one good thing, one good place where you can use your Instapot to do potatoes in for dehydrating, because they get really nice. Now, you want to get them good and cooked, but you don't want them totally mushy, too much so. But you can see, to peel them, this is why I leave the peel on. It just almost, pulls off. It's really easy. If you have to, you can use a knife to peel them. And I'll show you first. You can make sweet potato chips with these. Really easy. And if I make a sweet potato chip, what I do for that is just slice them very, very thin. And I don't know if they can see that.
Yep.
And lay them separated. Don't stack or pile them. You want to lay them in layers, like thin layers. Now these, if you want to chip, a lot of the fruits and vegetables, they say to do them till they're rubbery like. But for chips, I usually leave them to dehydrate quite a bit longer, almost a whole day longer. So I would do these at least 24 hours, maybe even another 12 hours on top of that to get them good and crispy. And you'll know, you just walk in there and you will, when they snap and break, they're done. Check them every 6 hours. If it's overnight, don't worry about it. You can check them the next morning and that type of thing. Okay. Now, to do them for the powder that I use, the sweet potato powder, I take and you cook them, like I said, for the slices, and you just cook them, peel them, and then I mash them with a hand mixer. Some people take wax paper and put the potatoes between wax paper and will roll it out with a rolling pin. I find it's just as easy to go ahead and use a hand mixer. And once just like a mashed potato, and once they're mashed up, you can put them on here. If you put them on this part of the tray with the little holes, make sure you do it thick. I'll show you an example on there. Do it relatively thick. These are good to do thick because they'll stick in those little holes and they'll be a little bit harder to get out if you make them too thin. So I just pat them to about that thickness, and I would take this whole thing and spread all over if I was doing all of it. But I was going to show you, it's easier for some to just make like you would for fruit leather and that type of thing, and just spread them out. You can go a little bit thinner on this if you want to. Then we'll come back as soon as these are dry, and I'll show you how to powder them up and put them in the jar.
You can see here is our sweet potato chips. And here is our sweet potato mush. I don't know, what do you call this?
Yeah, this you'll grind up into a powder if you want to. You don't always have to. But the thing is, this is why I was saying make it thick. I had this over a 1/4 inch thick. And you see it's a little bit harder to peel out. So the thicker you can do it, the better. This isn't too bad. Also, you can put them on parchment paper if you want to and do it, you know, for that type of thing. Is that good just like that?
Really good. Yeah.
Oh, good. So you can make chips. All these things you can make chips, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you could just eat this as a chip if you
want.
want.
Yeah, you can. You can do whatever how much you want. I like to do the powder just because it just seems like it makes mashed potatoes, and Tara likes to eat them like that. So
to rehydrate them, just pour boiling water over the top. Let them sit about 15 minutes or so, and they will come back. And then what I do is I just warm them up and eat them like mashed sweet potatoes with a little butter and honey or brown sugar. And that's how I do it. To store it, you can just store. Oh yeah.
Well, I was going to say. You could also use them to thicken stew. You know, these sweet potatoes would be good for something like that. You know.
Yeah. You can store them in plastic bags and jars. You can powder it up in your blender and make a powder out of it. Any way you want to. That's how simple it is, guys, to do dehydrated sweet potatoes. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. Check out our Dining on a Dime cookbook, and please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we will see you guys next time.